Hello everyone, this is Taylor Edrington with Royal Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the oldest fly shop and guide service on the Arkansas River and only Orvis endorsed outfitter on the 102-mile gold medal section of the Arkansas. Thanks so much for viewing, and it is August the 17th. We're moving through August and into the fall season on the Arkansas, and things are fantastic. The fall season is one of our favorite time periods on the Arkansas. Air temps begin to cool down, water temps cool down, the river is dropping. We have now moved through our flow augmentation period of the flow management program, the voluntary flow management program on the Arkansas River. Prior to August 15th, we try to keep, and during the summer months, we try to keep around 700 CFS flow rate at Wellsville gauge in order to keep water temperature cooler for the trout population, also keep a nice steady flow rate for recreational use otherwise. And after August 15th, that augmentation from our contributing tail races at Twin Lakes as well as Clear Creek Reservoir are stepped down, and we're seeing that this week. We are stepping down as we speak today, right around 600 CFS in Upper Bighorn Sheep Canyon, but we will see that fall all the way below 500 most likely by the end of the week in Bighorn Sheep Canyon, closer to 300 CFS on the upper basin from Granite upstream, and so we're going to see a lot different river, and these flows are as low as you will see them. Typically we only see flows in this range in the fall and in the spring. Of course, we like to keep flows in this range from 350 to 500 CFS for the brown trout spawning time period, as well as the rainbow trout spawning time period in the spring. Brown trout spawning does begin in mid-September, run through October, and even into early November on the Arkansas. So a goal flow rate of 350 to 500 CFS is perfect for that spawning time period, according to our biologists. Currently we're seeing a smorgasbord of hatches. Obviously wading is as easy as it gets right now. Floating is becoming a bit more technical, just more rocks showing up with these lower flows, and also fish are very spooky from the boat with super clear conditions. It's just tougher out of a boat than it is wading. Wading, you can get a little bit closer to the fish, you can pace yourself. Floating is just a touch more technical at this point in time. Doesn't mean you can't go out there and have a lot of fun floating. A lot, like I said, just a smorgasbord of hatches right now. We've got primarily, our primary hatches are red quills, pale morning duns, ton of caddis starting to hatch right now. We're already seeing a few BWOs, although we're on the very front end of that fall hatch. Still a lot of opportunistic feeding fish out there that are eating hoppers, big attractor dries. We're starting to see focus on smaller or more medium-sized attractor dries, red bodies, tan bodies, yellow bodies, still fish eating yellow sallies. So in addition to those red quills and pale morning duns I'm talking about, we've got tricos, hoppers, flying ants, some drakes here and there. That's just kind of getting rolling on the Arkansas. We've got tons of caddis, probably a dozen different types of caddis starting to hatch here fairly heavily. Actually, today I was on the water on a guide trip and saw some really big caddis hatches. A lot of fish on caddis larvae, a lot of fish on pupa, caddis pupa right now. You've got a lot of that emergence going on right now. And like I said, still fish on hoppers, still fish on yellow Sally dries, yellow Sally nymphs. A lot of fish starting to turn on to stonefly nymphs. Really, what it boils down to right now is that we have so many bugs in the water column, on the surface, hatches, flow rate is coming down, water temperature is becoming cooler. Fish are just happy and they're eating, and this is one of the best time periods to get here. Streamer activity will begin to kick on as well, and that streamer activity will become intensified as we get into the month of September. Fish become or start to move into that pre-spawn time period. They get a little bit more territorial, chase prone. That will really turn on in September, but August is a great time to throw streamers also. Let's go through some patterns here, and I'm going to show you a bunch of different stuff that our guides are doing really well on. Please do remember, you can get any of the stuff that I show you today online at www.royalgorgeanglers.com. We have over 900 different patterns online in our web store. Please do feel free to give us a call if you have any questions on these patterns, rigging, so on and so forth. But you can peruse these patterns. You can buy them online directly, and of course you can come by the fly shop and browse our extensive bin selection here in store. Like I said, we're still fishing a lot of dry dropper systems. Double nymphing is very, very productive throughout the day, and we're focusing on those hatches that I've discussed, which are a lot of hatches, but really focusing on red quills, caddis, pale morning duns, stonefly nymphs, attractor dries with the body colors I represented before, and then your hatch matching dries, on the hatch end. Let's start on the hatch end with our single dry fly selection for hatch matching dries. These are the dries that you go to when you see bugs on water, you see fish actively up feeding. Like I said, red quills are really primaries right now. For adult red quills, I really like to go with high vis, size 14-16, rust colored bodies. This is a parachute profile red quill. Okay. And then, your primary heavy feeding is going to be on the spinner falls with the red quills. In the mornings and in the evenings, typically, you're going to see these red quill spinners. That's what's called a crystal spinner there. And then one of our true favorites here, and just a key pattern to have on you over the next month, Larry Kingery's quill body spinner. Also, I said a lot of caddis out there. We're fishing a variety of caddis egg layers, different things like that. But there are a lot of dark bodies. There's some Brachycentrus hatching out there. There's probably 5-6 different dark-bodied caddis hatching. So your black peacock caddis is going to be a key fly. This is one that we stock that's fantastic, called the Wrangler's Black Caddis. And then we really like CDC style caddis. This is your CDC charcoal caddis. Then, like I said, a lot of pale morning duns out there. One of my particular patterns is Morrish's Mayday in the PMD. Again, that's Morrish's Mayday in the PMD. That's a newer pattern. Then your Film Critic. It's Bob Quigley's pattern. PMD. I love the Film Critic, and red quill, BWO, just burying excellent mayfly dry representation. And then if we go to more of a dry dropper rig, a lot of the bigger dries that I like to fish, like I said, there's still a lot of hoppers out there. I like olive and tan bodies. This is Morrish hopper, more of a chartreuse green color, but olive is also good. Then tan thunder thighs hopper. Amy's ants are really starting to turn on in both colors, in the natural color, the standard Amy's ant color with the olive body, in the red body also, and then moving more into that red color, the tantrum red body. Great fly for a dry dropper. The 409 is one of our favorites in the red body. And more medium size on those dries. Also the Turk's tarantula, old great pattern. One of our local patterns tied here locally by Larry Kingery, the yellow and red striped ape stimulator with the foam body. And then, like I said, a lot of yellow Sallies still out there, so we are fishing yellow attractor drives a lot, and this is your yellow 409. A lot of other great lead drives like Hippie Stompers, Never Sink Trudes, Chubbies are still excellent as well in the smaller sizes. For your lead stoneflies, say instead of a dry dropper, and I'm going to show you your dropper nymphs last, those smaller bead heads, but say you need to get a little bit deeper and need to go double nymph, your lead stonefly dries are going to be key. We're really going heavily into patterns like the 20-incher. This is tied locally by Larry Kingery. A little different 20-incher than you'll typically see. Another just pattern that's knocking it out of the park is your CDC prints. And not a standard prints, but a CDC prints. Just moves a lot more. And then your Biot stonefly, gold and brown. Great pattern. And then kind of our key dropper nymphs. These can be under the stoneflies in a double nymph rig or triple nymph rig that I just showed you, under a dry, in the dry, larger or mid-sized attractor dries I just showed you. Let's look at our primary red quill nymphs of choice here. This is just a phenomenal pattern that's been cleaning up on this river, and that's the orange and copper radiation nymph by Shea Gunkel. Unbelievable right now. Larry Kingery's new Biot body red quill nymph with the oversized tungsten bead. Fantastic. One of my favorite little attractor nymphs that's great for a red quill is the flashy BLM pheasant tail. A lot of flash in that fly. Rick Takahashi's go-to pheasant tail, which has the nice little popped wing on it. And then one of my primary attractor nymphs as a great dropper, hot wire pheasant tail, red, orange, yellow wire body. Fantastic. Various sizes on that. Then your caddis are primaries out there right now as well. Your caddis larva beadhead dropper, chartreuse copperjaw. Really hard to beat. Also this great Psycho Ryko roller caddis larva. Very buggy. Like I said, beadhead caddis pupa are cleaning up the last few days with this huge caddis activity that we're seeing up and down the river. Your primetime caddis pupa, a primary, that's a tungsten bead. And then one of our true favorites on this river, the tungsten bead nitro caddis. Then your pale morning dun nymphs, your yellow glint nymph, going to be a primary, great fly. And Larry Kingery's PMD version of the red quill that I just showed you, Larry Kingery's Biot TMD nymph. Oversized tungsten bead, fantastic. Like I said, streamers are really going to be turning on. Always like to go tandem on these streamers, running something rather large in the brown, yellow, or black category up front. These are two different dirty hippie patterns. This is your brown dirty hippie, North Platte colored kind of tannish red dirty hippie, and then your brown trout dirty hippie. Those are good lead flies. Black bowface is another great lead fly. And then dropper flies, I've been doing extremely well with black slump busters and two different near nuff sculpins. These are excellent patterns, tan and olive. That's a lot of patterns to get you rolling. Like I said, these are core patterns that we fish on the Arkansas day in and day out with great productivity. Our guides are doing excellent with these patterns in our specific rigs. If you have any questions about the rigging tactics throughout the day, how to really maximize your time on the water based on where fish are holding, what fish are feeding on throughout the day, those rigging tactics are, those are crucial. So if you have any questions on those, please feel free to give us a call, toll free, 888-994-6743. If you want to go out there and really learn how to do it right, hire one of our great guides. We're the only Orvis endorsed outfitter on the Arkansas River, oldest fly shop and guide service. Please give us a call, toll free, 888-994-6743, or shoot us an email or book a trip online at www.royalgorgeanglers.com. We do have an interactive trip pane. You can look at all of our different trip options. We not only guide on the Arkansas, but in the fall, one of our primary destinations is the South Platte, big lake run browns in September and October into the 10+ pound range, the double-digit range, and Spinney, still guiding on Spinney in 11-mile, backcountry trips, all kinds of great offerings for fly fishing adventure in this immediate area in Colorado. If you have any questions, please contact us. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you on the water sometime soon. Take care.